Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and I am very excited to bring you this special review.
If anything, the Kim family, they're archetypes.
Which is sad, but not always a bad thing.
I'm okay, I have one. Do you see all the name?
Let's try them. Let's still try. We want to...
Here we go. Hello there. Happy Friday. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around. Thank you for checking out this video. What I normally do on the channel is I unbox action figures and collectibles and do reviews. And along with those toys come, awesome TV shows and movies that they make merchandise for. So I thought it'd be fun to do a stream where we get to talk about all that stuff together at the same time. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to follow. If you're watching on Twitch, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, subscribe there as well. And there will be more of this content all the time. We talk Star Wars, we talk Marvel, Disney Plus shows, just stuff that I find interesting, that I'm interested in. And if there's toys that go with it, I would love to talk about it. So, the channel here on on YouTube is at like 2,950 subs. Hoping to get it to 3,000 soon. So, feel free to help out. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button at the bottom, and with notifications, you'll be on. You'll know when we're on every week, or if you prefer Twitch, I'm available there on twitch.tv/toyingaround. And we're going to talk about some Marvel What If tonight, episode 6. And I will be bringing on my friends who I like to talk about this topic with. My friends, Troy from Troy Collects Toys.
Hello.
Yo. And I'm good. Let's bring on Jason too, because he's here on time today, early on time.
Jason's on time.
Jason Lapidus. How are you doing, everyone?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Just checking for my FedEx manager. Nope, no Sentinel yet. No Sentinel.
Have people in this part of the world received their Sentinels already?
Yeah, Emerson got his shipping notice.
Emerson.
Gross Fidelity got his in hand, so
cool.
Not jealous at all.
Yeah,
not jealous at all.
I mean, it's coming. You're gonna get it.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, you saw my post yesterday. I was so annoyed with one person in particular that kept on harping on it every day, and I was like, "Dude, it'll ship when it ships. Like, chill."
Yeah, it's one of those challenging things I think about the time we live in.
Yeah, it's like everyone wants everything now.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm okay to wait, because as you can see, I have a mess behind me. So that's still being sorted out.
Yeah,
and
I still have a mess around me right now from last night. Last night I did unboxing Thursdays, which is something, if you're new here, that's what I do every week, Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And I sat down with my friend Trevor. He's an awesome toy photographer. We chatted for like 4 hours. And there's all these boxes, Hot Toys boxes, still laying around here. So if you haven't watched that yet, feel free to go check it out. It's a lot of stuff for you to play in the background.
I want that horse. That
horse is cool now, right?
I got to get that horse. I need it as a drawing model. I need that horse for drawing. Yeah, a horse. I need a good horse and a good motorcycle. Or actually, okay. I have a couple motorcycles, but that horse is like on my radar now.
Is that Mythic Legions?
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful stuff. I enjoyed your as much of your stream as I was able to watch last time. It was a good episode. Troy has good taste. Not Troy, pardon me, Trevor. You have good taste too, Troy. But Trevor has good taste.
Good random shot at Troy.
Names with TR. Yeah, Trevor has good taste in X-Men and Star Wars toys, and yeah, he's got good taste.
Well,
he's got old man taste, which is good taste.
I was gonna say basically the same demographic. Oh yes. Shoot, he's right there.
Yeah, man. except the
Eagles, except for music, apparently. Troy, why don't you let people know real quick, where can they check your stuff out? What do you do?
You can find me on Instagram at Troy Collects Toys. You can find me on YouTube as well. I just did a Captain Carter review. I'm hoping to do a review this weekend because I have actually time to myself. So you'll see more content from me.
Awesome.
There's stuff that I've been working on for the last month that I've been lazily trying to do, but time has escaped me every day. I'll be honest, I woke up like 20 minutes ago from a nap, so sorry if I sound drowsy.
Dude, I took 2 naps today.
Oh gosh. I literally fell asleep at like 4 o'clock to like 8:30.
It's all good.
Wow.
And Jason, what about yourself? What do you do?
All is good, man. I draw comics, and I'm slowly and quickly, at the same time, becoming like a I don't know, a commercial illustrator. I keep getting these, which is really really nice. I keep getting opportunities to make art for people who are paying me to make some art, which is really cool. But I'm working on a comic book series called Peregrines for Group of 7 Comics. And I'm drawing the 2nd issue of that arc now, and it is coming out in a few months, and it's dope.
Dope. I'll give it a dope.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone who's here watching tonight. I want to take a moment to shout out some channel members who are in the chat. People who aren't channel members who are in the chat. Again, if you want to become a channel member, it's just a way of supporting the channel. All the stuff goes back into equipment and other things for everything that goes into the channel. Completely optional, but if you choose to join, there are different perks. You can get channel member specific emojis on YouTube, or there are channel member subscriber Twitch emotes on Twitch. So wherever you want to watch it, I put an example of them there in the chat. You can go check it out. We have Loki was here earlier, but he says can't stay tonight. Have to watch the replay. Torensu, Great White North Empire. Marcus E here, liking this new-ish intro. I just added some screens around. That's it. Doombot 9000. How's it going? Welcome back. 796 Studios is here. Wing or Lose. How are you doing? Mackerson over on Twitch. Welcome. And of course, Trevor 16 Shooter, who was here last night. We were talking about toys, Mythic Legions. And for tonight, well, this chair feels low. Does it feel low? I need a booster. Need a booster seat. All right. This episode, I was trying to get things together for tonight, but there was no real merch for this. The main thing for this would be Marvel Legends. And there's nothing there aren't really new characters, new designs in this episode.
You could pull out your Black Panther figures, And don't you have a Happy Hogan and a Obadiah Stane?
I don't have an Obadiah Stane. I don't know where I put my Killmonger. I don't know why he's not with. He might be on a villain shelf.
Why does he wear blue?
Why does he wear blue?
Killmonger's there in Afghanistan in the desert wearing chest armor and, tactical pants, and he's wearing a blue shirt. Why does he wear blue? Come on.
Yeah.
Sorry, deep question early off the top here.
Let's get into the episode then. I mean, merch-wise, what is there? I think, Troy, there's a Lego set, maybe? The mech with Tony.
So.
Oh, really?
But I don't think it was this episode. Was it?
Is that a different mech suit?
I think so. I think it's like a Sicarian armor, isn't it?
Right. I just saw Tony and Robot, so I thought it was this one. Okay, so if you haven't seen What If yet, we're going to talk about this episode 6. What if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? If you haven't seen it yet, catch you on the replay, or stick around if you don't mind spoilers. And they always ask that question. One question that changes this story that you already know. We remember in the first Iron Man, they replicated all the scenes and the shots basically the same, right? Tony in the desert talking to the soldier. It's like no gang signs. I've always loved that interaction, and so they were able to replicate that. But this time, instead of the Stark missile blowing up and sending shrapnel into his chest, Killmonger happens to be in the desert, just launches it. Is he like super powered
No,
at that point?
no.
So how
No,
did he throw a missile? Like, is it
I
like
don't know.
It was
is it really
small.
light?
Come on, it's only that big.
Okay.
Kevin, haven't you ever thrown a missile like in the desert? Isn't that something? Come on, man.
I have a bad shoulder, so
You
I
gotta
can't
give me
throw
your
anything.
man card. You gotta surrender that man card if you haven't done that yet.
I mean,
I don't know,
Happy can't even throw a shield more than 3 feet in the movie.
True. Honestly, I was really what was that?
I was really
I was really like I don't know. I was like, how did he just get there? Like, wouldn't he be shot at? What happened? Did he take these people out? I don't know. And I was like, how did he throw it so far? Like, there was so many questions of physics and like logic I was just not understanding at that point. But I was like, I'll just go with it. It's a cartoon.
Right. That's a good approach.
Yeah, I'll skip that part. Maybe there was something that I missed that but I don't think that was it in this case. He's a Saiyan. I don't think he's a Saiyan. It's a cool episode. I like this idea.
Mhm.
And you think maybe something will change with these characters in the scenario, but he just ends up he's still the same dude, Killmonger, going down this path.
Like the what if question is not sincere. It's not that what if Killmonger rescues Tony. It's what if Killmonger is aware of the whole plot of the Iron Man 1 before it happens. Like what if he's no, really, like it's what if Killmonger is aware of the scheme to capture and kidnap Tony Stark, and what if he gets ahead of it? Like what if Killmonger is ahead of the plot to kidnap Tony Stark? So
I guess they leave it ambiguous, so they can.
He was aware of the whole thing. That's why he was able to get ahead of the plot and eliminate all the other players to get to where he needed to get to.
Yeah,
to get to be Black Panther. Like that was his end goal, was to be the ruler eventually of Wakanda. So him finding a way in and like getting ahead, like I think it was Claw who said, "I wouldn't want to play chess against you."
Right.
He was 10 moves ahead of everyone the whole episode. It was amazing. So even like I said, the question is not a sincere, it's not if he rescues, it's what if he's ahead of the game from the very beginning, Anyway, so I thought the only weird thing was about that scene wasn't the fact that he threw the missile or anything like that. It was more because that rocket's a small one, right? It has pieces in it that explode out. It was a compact one. The weird thing was
so now you're an arms expert.
After they meet each other, the way they walk off into the desert is so casual, and they're in the middle of a firefight or just like post firefight, and they stroll away as if they're on as if they're on a relaxing walk. So that part was a little funny, but it's all good.
Yeah, I don't think that was the most
for me. That jumped out for me, but
yeah,
aren't you guys still looking over your shoulder like it's in there?
No, yeah, they kind of he killed everyone.
The dust hasn't cleared yet. They're like, let's go for a stroll.
Let's walk on the nice desert beach
Dark
towards
desert highway.
Right.
Yeah. No objections?
No, who cares?
So Tony has the same similar style of press conference, and that reporter lady is there again.
Yeah,
the one that
Christine Everett or Everhart.
I really don't know why they like. It was something to point out. Yeah,
it's like in Batman animated series where there's only one reporter.
True.
What was her name? Someone will put it in the chat, I'm sure. But yeah, so like one character who does all the reporting. She's in everything.
Yeah, so they have a similar press conference, but here Killmonger reveals, that's why I was in the desert. I was undercover with the 10 rings, which we know. Oh shoot, I have my 10 ring shirt. Yeah, right there. The 10 rings, which is also from Iron Man, and he reveals that Obadiah Stane was behind all of it, and just calls him out right there. And then that part is resolved for him right away. That gets Killmonger into the good graces with Tony, and Pepper's already like, she's like, that's the weird thing. He doesn't want anything. Everyone always wants something. So she's on it. And she's always that character who's watching Tony's back while he's drinking and whatever, being a billionaire playboy philanthropist.
Did you notice that in most of the episode, Tony had a glass of alcohol in his hand for most of it? Which I was like, And speaking of Pepper, can we just say that the voice actress was just throwing you off? I could not. For me, I was like, this is not Gwyneth Paltrow.
True.
I love my Gwyneth.
I don't know. I'm very comfortable with the voice actors they choose.
Yeah.
Whether it's the actual movie cast or whether it's a substitute, it doesn't faze me too much so far.
There's some.
She was okay.
Yeah, there's some that they do really well, and then some like just honestly, this Pepper just reminded me of Black Widow the whole time. So I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, like Obadiah was really good, like that guy who played him. Tony Stark was really good as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Chris who's in the chat. What's going on, Chris? He said Mick Wingert did most of Tony's voice. He's Iron Man in most of the cartoons and games.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah, he got that job as just doing a Downey impression, a decade ago, and it works. Troy, what do you think that the drink thing was about? Because I mean, you said, you noticed it, but is it for no reason, or do you think there's a reason?
I think there's a reason to it. I think it's definitely trying to hint the storyline of like the demon in the bottle.
Okay.
Because we know that that was a storyline pitched by Jon Favreau, and he wasn't able to go ahead with it because they thought it was a little bit too dark. So for me, I thought this was like showing like the beginnings of it, kind of thing.
Doesn't Tony Stark have a drinking problem in comic books?
Yes,
that's what Troy's saying.
Yeah.
He just used the code name Demon in a Bottle.
Demon in a Bottle. So for me, that's what I thought was like they were alluding to a little bit.
I thought in addition to what you're saying, I thought they also did it so they could set up his death scene as a way to show he died without having to show him dying. In cartoons, you can show a character dying in silhouette or in shadow or off camera. So the slow motion falling of the drink and the glass breaking in slow motion was the death. It was like, yeah. So I thought that they set it up so we saw him always drinking, so that when we see his glass fall, that we knew he was dead.
It's so weird for me in this series. Everyone, like, people die, but I'm like, did they actually die or what? Because like it's so animated and they can't show blood or like they can't do anything spectacular. And I'm like, wait, did they die?
Remember when they blew up Hulk from the inside out?
Yeah,
it's like they show all sorts of things.
They show a little bit of things,
but
what was it? Zombies?
Yeah.
Zombies being eaten and blown up, I think, is okay because they're not alive.
Right.
Hulk blowing up because it's green, and children won't be like, "That's not blood." They turned him into Jello.
But Iron Man, it's different. Tony Stark is different. I don't know if you guys watch. Oh man, I've already forgotten the name. Someone will tell me in the chat what it is. Another good toy show. Dude from the East Coast in the States. Toy Galaxy. Thank you. You guys ever watch Toy Galaxy? He did an episode on the Transformers movie and sort of the story behind it getting made and whatnot. And it was just interesting to think about what it did to children to see Optimus Prime die, considering the role he plays as an archetype in the show. So like him dying on screen versus him dying off screen, and Tony Stark being one of the very few tent poles of the entire MCU. Yeah, it's like catastrophic seeing him die. It's like a profound thing to witness Robert Downey Jr. die and to see him die. So they'll show the Hulk blow up, they'll show zombies die, but to actually watch the light go out in RDJ's eyes and him be dead, it's pretty upsetting for some kids, I'm sure. So they just drop the glass and make sure that we know he's always drinking. So subconsciously we associate the glass with him being alive, and when the glass falls, he's dead.
Has every What If that featured Tony Stark, has he died? Zombies. Episode 2.
The What If the Avengers.
3. And then this one.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very
Well, this
interesting.
one at least
It's inevitable.
the world didn't go crazy because of Hank Pym. That's the first,
Right.
Yep.
or maybe not.
True. Maybe
Uh,
Hank Pym was the mastermind of it. We don't know.
What I liked about this was they go to Rhodey, and the Rhodey you see is Don Cheadle Rhodey, even though in this timeline, in the context of this movie when it came out, it was not Don
Can you
Cheadle.
imagine if they had
Don
him,
Cheadle yet,
they had him draw Terrence Howard for that scene? Just,
and have him
that
voice
would've
it.
been
That'd be
amazing.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's fun how much our own brains can retcon Terrence Howard out of the role so easily. Yeah, I don't even think about him ever. When I think about Rhodey in Iron Man 1, I see
Oh, you see Don Cheadle?
Don Cheadle on the phone with Tony. Tony's flying in the suit with the airplanes, and yeah, I see Don Cheadle in my head. It's good.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. Eventually we see Killmonger just kind of being friends with Tony. Eventually, hey, you know what? I had this idea one day that I was going to build this automated robot that was basically a giant Gundam. He even says it himself. He's like, "What? I watch a lot of anime." I thought that was awesome. Does Michael B. Jordan watch a lot of anime in real? I'm assuming he does. He does a lot of like sci-fi kind of geeky stuff.
Yeah,
Well, he's also Killmonger.
He's a very big anime person.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've watched his like house tour for like Vogue or something, but he talks about like his obsession with anime, which is really cool. So
yeah,
I'm like,
I figured that's what it was. So I'm like, that's a nice little Easter egg to throw in there for him.
Mm-hmm. I like how they brought Michael B. Jordan back in the
Oh
episode.
yeah.
I really like. I love the character of Killmonger a lot, and I really, really, really wish that they bring him back in the MCU somehow, even though he died.
Before Wenwu, like Killmonger was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he still is, but
He's
I
like
don't
top five.
think anyone likes Killmonger as much as they like Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like him in that role was just amazing. But if it had been someone else, it wouldn't have been that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was awesome. He was
I
awesome.
forgot when Far From Home, when Peter was on Tony's plane, that he rebuilt his new suit and they 3D printed it on the plane. I forgot about that, and because Tony's like, and all these sports cars that are 3D printed and this and that, and I'm like, I 3D print. I can't do any of this. I'm like, I can't do this. But I forgot about that. I rewatched the movie and then heard this line again. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I guess it makes sense because you can 3D print in like, different materials from varying densities of plastic, some with wood, metal stuff. So you can. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's cool.
Did they have 3D printers in 2008?
Yeah, you've had it. It just the technology wasn't at a point where it was so cheap for everyone to have it in their house for $200 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Chris says, I like the anime reference, especially since Michael B. Jordan is a big anime fan, but the mech looked more like mech from Appleseed or... See, I don't even know these names. So that's probably why they went with Gundam. So the casual...
It's not just about that. It's also what would Tony Stark know?
Yeah.
Tony Stark might not know the other two things that it's more like. He might just know Gundam.
But he's a smart guy.
He is, but it doesn't mean he watches anime.
He
But
should.
he knows enough about Gundam because he watches Toy Galaxy as well. So that's why he got that reference. It was Tony who referenced Gundam, not Killmonger.
Why did I highlight yes? I meant this one. Good contribution, DK. What's up, DK? He's a huge Vegeta fan, and Chris says that's his vest is Vegeta inspired. It's very Saiyan inspired.
Mm-hmm. I wish I still had that figure. Kind of sad I sold it.
The Killmonger?
It's so nice. It came with the mask.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, it was because of your MCU purge.
Yeah. Now I collect some MCU stuff.
Well, maybe in 10 years when there's some sort of Infinity Saga
Part
program,
2.
part 2.
I know. I picked up this again.
What do you mean again?
Because, okay, EB Games has this for $37. Toys R Us is $39.99.
Okay.
So, and plus I got my 10% off. So I was like, I got to return the Toys R Us one. Anyways, detour.
All that work for $2?
Yes.
Hey man,
Yes. You got to hustle for those $2, guys, because no one's
Fine,
gonna
fair
hustle
enough.
for us for those $2.
Yeah, if you have the discount, use it. I think I used the 10% off at Toys R Us. But yes, I should do a toy hunting tips
the
podcast.
hustle. Yeah.
What is the next episode of What If? I have to check the list.
Maybe
Toy Rensu
here.
said, did I watch No Way Home just to check how Happy threw the shield? No, what happened was I watched No Way Home a few weeks ago, and I couldn't remember how he threw the shield, which is what we discussed last night. And shout out to Robo who came through in the chat, and he was like, yeah, he threw it overhand like a baseball. And some people were watching. He was trying to link me the clip in the chat. I'm like, you can't put links in the chat. They'll think it's spam. So somebody watched it and told me live. So he throws it overhand by the handle like this. So that's why this Happy figure is still in this pose. Tony knows about SpongeBob. He does. He called Ebony Maw Squidward. Yeah, that's got to be. He's got to have something on his heads-up display that's like your Google timeline in the morning that has all the new news stories and pop culture and stuff.
I mean, he watches you,
and he catches the touring around updates.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you, Chamba. Let's see. So they develop Killmonger's robot. And I love how, in this universe, Tony didn't get in that position where he had to develop the mini arc reactor to power a suit. And I love that little line. What about a mini version? No, that's stupid. He's laying there brainstorming ideas.
And also they did the flip where he's talking about doing drones, like Hammer wanted to do. Justin Hammer, right? Like that whole and Justin Hammer and Whiplash. What was his name in the movie? Anton Vogo. Yeah, so the whole thing about doing drones instead of was like the opposite version of him, which is what Justin Hammer was supposed to be, right? Like his dark mirror, the version of him that never learned humility and also wasn't half as smart. So,
I rewatched Black Panther today just so I could see again. I like to see the different. No, it was hard to get through.
Yeah.
But just to see the parallels and where the story diverges, where there's similarities. Sending in the U.S. military to go buy arms from Claw, they do that again. Well, this time Tony is doing it, sending Rhodey to go. Mm-hmm. But in the movie, Ross was there in Korea buying. Was he buying weapons or just vibranium from Claw?
He's buying the vibranium schwanz.
Yeah. That was in his pants.
That's where a schwanz is, yes, in one's pants.
I don't know that many words. You know the words that I know.
You've watched Borat, so you know you know as much as I know.
Oh, okay.
But moving on. Yes, that's why Everett Ross, as opposed to General Ross. Who have we ever found out if they're related? Is it his nephew or something?
I don't know.
It is unlike the MCU to have characters with the same last name so far. I think is this the first time where there are characters with the same last name that aren't related?
I don't know. There's a lot of people with the same first names.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the last names.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't think so.
But one thing I did like about this episode was how faithful it was really to the movies. So like that shot for shot opening, and then they show Tony Stark in his like gauntlet powering up from Endgame. I thought it was like so well done, and I was like, damn, this is just like the movie. So this is what I love animation. They could go recreate these moments, make you feel good, even though it's not the same Tony Stark you're watching. But did you notice that when they were lying down and Tony was playing with the baseball, it was like reminiscent of like Endgame when they had that aha moment?
Which part was that?
That's when they were talking about, I think they were talking he was talking about the arc reactor there.
Yeah.
And then he was like throwing that ball and they were both like lying down.
What was it in Endgame
They were like, Black Widow goes, you know that there was like 3 Infinity Stones in New York at one time, and everyone's like, what? And everyone looked at each other, because it was
Okay,
like,
and then they figured out that.
yeah,
I want to
Okay.
watch that again.
I know I've been really wanting to watch Endgame, but
Yeah, I want to do the full 6 hour, both parts.
yeah, I don't know if I could watch 3 hours of that movie and then go into Homecoming or No Way Home.
I just do it while I'm working, so it plays while I draw.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Very good deal. Very good deal.
I like that they still went through the testing phase for the robot. You know, like when Tony was testing out his suits, they'd have almost like a blooper reel.
Yeah. Oh, it's totally a good thing. And having Dummy there, or whatever he calls the
gantry thing.
His robots.
Arm?
Yeah, like I'm just glad to hear that. Like the noises he makes. It's good.
But yeah, we go to the same ship that Claw has, but they are rescued by Black Panther, who gets taken out by that. I remember it. Stain uses it, the small version, to kind of immobilize Tony on the sofa, but this is a large weaponized gun almost, and that takes out the Black Panther.
Yeah, I don't.
And he kills Rhodey.
Yes, I can't watch more episodes where they kill Black Panther.
I know.
What is happening. You thought the zombie episode was bad, and the zombie episode, if it was the last one, what really wasn't that bad. Okay, that's what I thought. And then now, in comparison with this one, it's like that's even better. That's a better ending than this.
Do you know what was really weird and creepy? How Killmonger takes the glove of Black Panther and puts it on, and I was like, "This is just stop putting salt in the spoon right here."
Yeah, it's hard.
It was really hard. I think this episode was just really hard, just because we know this is one of Chadwick's last, performances. So it's just like, I don't know. I just found it really, I don't know.
There was something coming up. I'm not going to say, but was the hardest one for me. It's something else in a minute. We'll get there. What are you doing? I'm putting it ahead.
Oh. Yeah. Well, and he uses Claw to get to Wakanda, and this time he's kind of trying to play the royal family, gets on their good graces, tricks them into letting the robot army into. It's like if they get into the shield, you can't communicate, they can't send the signal out. I like that. It's they factored in Shuri is 10 years.
Sure.
Was Black Panther set in the year that it came out, or
let's just pretend it was and say 20?
Yeah, I think it was.
They aged her down.
Yeah, it was a good idea.
Yeah. So Chadwick recorded his voice for 4 episodes. So what do we have so far? 3?
Yeah.
3? All right. Yeah. So
isn't there a team up episode coming up soon?
And yeah, I think so. So first of all, the mom, the queen,
Ramonda,
as the fighting was totally badass.
As the general of the Dora Milaje. That was like, that adds so much, so much depth to that character. Like a generation ago, she was the badass. And she still got it. Like, yeah, I'm totally down for that.
Yeah,
that's not a new design, but
it was combining 2 designs, right? Combining.
You're right.
With putting on the armor that we already know, with probably some flourishes. I'm sure someone did some screen caps, and there are probably not me either. There probably are a few things on the decor that are slightly different than a Koye or than the other Dora Milaje. But yeah, that was very cool. Good twist.
Hey, we never know. She might suit up again.
Yeah, why not?
Bassett. I mean, Angela. Have you ever seen Angela Bassett? This woman is just. Oh my gosh, she never ages.
Well, sure, but no, she's awesome. She's been awesome for movies, everything ever since we all got introduced to her. 30 years of awesomeness.
Here we go.
So the sleeve stuff. I'm not sure what part. Is that a figure that's coming out, or did someone just do that?
No, this is an actual figure.
Are we allowed to talk about these on the stream?
There's no Yoko here.
Oh well, I don't want to upset her even in thought.
She has her own what if stream. It can be Funko free there. I like that. Someone just drew a heart.
Yeah.
But this is badass. I would love a figure of this to add to the shelf. Even like pair it with a little small younger Shuri. That'd be hilarious to keep in a whole display together.
Totally.
I would love something like that.
Considering that we have a Shuri figure, we have T'Chaka.
Yeah.
Well, in some form, right?
Mhm.
We have a Nakia. We have Okoye. Yeah, Ramonda is missing for sure.
Toy Rensu says she seems so weak in the Black Panther movie. No hint of that.
Yeah, 10 years later, and let's assume, being... I mean, let's just pretend for a minute, going from like 50 to 60.
Mm-hmm. How was that?
45. Well, 46 is bad enough. So 60, that's nice. Thank you. 60 is, we'll see. But that idea that, 10 years on a person that age already must be challenging.
Mm-hmm.
But you bring it when you need it. So
I think she's still got some, fighting power in her.
Well, as
I'm hoping.
Does anyone here watch her show? What's it called? 911?
Yeah.
Does she do something physical on that show? She's a first responder. No, I don't watch it either. She's a first responder of some kind.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't watch it.
Yeah, me neither.
There's so many of those cop shows, and they all seem to be
procedurals. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just watch the Tina Turner movie she did.
Okay, that was 25 years, 30 years ago?
Yeah.
25 years ago.
And this was only 10 years apart from this story and the Black Panther Black Panther movie. Yes. A figure of her would be cool. More of this stuff. Again, rewatching the movie today. I forget Forrest Whitaker's character's name.
His name is Zuri. Zuri.
Yes.
Zuri.
Mm-hmm.
Like Zuri.
I would like a figure of him.
Sure.
And that was crazy when Michael B. Jordan was like something. When he kills him, he's like, "This is for Uncle James." He's like, "Thanks, Uncle James," and he stabs him. I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." I love it. That part was really. I haven't seen it. I would think I watched it like 2-3 times, but I haven't seen it for a year.
What name I have always trouble with is Killmonger's Wakandan name. He said it really clearly in the show.
Najubu.
That's his father.
That's his father.
Oh,
but his own name. It's a neat one. It's a really nice sounding name. I found in the movie it was hard to kind of catch. In the show, I thought he said it really clearly. And
no, wait, hold on.
That being said, it's neat to hear that name out of him.
Ninjatka.
Indijaka. It's Indijaka.
Troy has a.
Thank you, Michael. That's awesome.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So good. So the thing that, since we already talked about Ramonda as a Dora Milaje general, that was the thing that got me when the episode was, as they're all yelling like Wakanda Forever, she yells for T'Chaka.
Mm-hmm.
Or for T'Challa, pardon me, for T'Challa. And her voice breaks when she says it a little, like there's a little something in there, and that's the first time someone's kind of called out for him in death. Like in his death. Like where there's like we've seen him die now, a couple episodes, but for someone to like specifically call out and make like a battle cry in the honor of his death, I thought was very profound. Very, very sad.
Yeah.
Well, the way some of these episodes are ending, there's deliberately having like not a cliffhanger, but it's like they're continuing. There's more to this story. This is. Do you think they're saying, "Hey, we're leaving it for you for your imagination," or or season 2, or finale episode? They're gonna address it there, because if it's like the big team up episode, it seems like a lot of different stories that you have to work in there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you saw the trailer, the mid-season trailer that just dropped, you see that Pepper is fighting with Shuri and Dora's.
Yeah.
So there is something happening. I don't know what is happening, but they're definitely, I don't know, is this something that's going to happen this season? Is it going to be continuations of for next season. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Like, I mean, it's just what if, what if?
Nice.
That's deep, yo.
Nice.
I'm going to use that against you for a minute if you don't mind, Troy.
Yeah.
In the same way that they showed us at the beginning of this episode, Tony with the glove on, and even though that didn't actually happen in the episode, like the episode wasn't about him getting the Infinity Gauntlet, and they just showed that clip. They also could, at the very end of the whole season, like open up in a conversation, like, and look at all these other possibilities that have yet to be told. Like, show a clip of Pepper and the Dora Milaje. Like, it doesn't necessarily, just because we see a clip doesn't mean it's going to be plot for an episode. Just like how we saw the clip of Tony with the Infinity Gauntlet in the trailer, and we saw them do the Avengers rotation image from 2012 animated style in the trailer. Both those clips showed up in the episode today, but not as part of the plot, but as part of like us traveling through the multiverse. So those clips that you're referring to could also be that a tag at the end where it just reminds the audience that this is what's here.
Yeah.
We don't know. It's a lot to speculate on.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Something that, what if Killmonger saved Tony Stark ends up being mostly about Killmonger, but like without an Iron Man, what happens in this universe? Does this change the Avengers that we know?
I don't think there would be an Avengers.
There would still be a Nick Fury, right?
So I'm trying to think of like what things he does in the movie that change everything. Obviously helping keep the helicarrier up in the air. He goes in the rotor and then goes to the battle in New York. But would Loki have chosen his tower? Because it's not his tower. He's not there. That building, like maybe choose a different location for that battle. And then, of course, no one takes the inevitable nuke missile through the wormhole. So
those battles will still happen. It's just, will there be a team?
Regardless of what happens on Earth, I think it's safe to assume that Loki is still planning to come to Earth.
Right.
Unless Stark not being there changes the Thor movie so much so that Loki doesn't. I don't know. I can't imagine how that would throw that one off.
No, I don't think it has much effect on that part of the story. I don't know, Troy, do you see anything where it's just like if there was no Iron Man, the regular MCU events, like chronologically?
I mean, there wouldn't be a Vision.
Sure. I mean, if we go that far into it, yes, absolutely.
Trying to like think of like plot points.
Doesn't he also have that? No, he has that vision because of Wanda, right? Wait, where he sees everyone dead at the feet of Thanos? When does he see that again?
At the beginning, first act of Avengers 2, Age of Ultron.
Okay, yeah. So that's way too far. Ultron.
I don't remember.
What don't you remember?
I'm trying to I honestly haven't watched the MCU since like the beginning of the pandemic, like full everything. So I keep
Troy, I'm confident that you know the MCU better than you know your own last decade.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
It's like, what were you doing in 2008? You're like, well, Iron Man 1.
Yeah, I went to the theater for...
Yeah, like we know that history better than we know our own. Come on.
Yeah, I could tell you who I watched Iron Man 1 with, where I watched it.
And what happened in the movie. You know those events.
What theater number I watched it in. Like, I could tell you those things, which is so weird. But, I don't know what would be Iron Man 1. Like, I'm trying to think, what significance did he have in Iron Man 1? Like, his reveal? Didn't his reveal, like, trigger some things in the MCU? And then,
his reveal triggers Ivan Vanko to start building his arc reactor.
And then Jarvis says something that, like, since Tony Stark did his reveal, like, cataclysmic events started happening more often.
Was that Vision?
Vision said that, yeah. So
There won't be a Vision to say that.
there won't be a Vision to say that.
It's making my brain hurt.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like
That's
Wanda.
it. Jotaku Toys, thank you for being here again. Recognize that name. Happy to have you here. But says Fury would still be making the Avengers. There's just no Iron Man to be thrown in. Thor most likely still happens.
Yes.
Incredible Hulk happens. I think that was the beauty of how the Avengers, the MCU was planned. It was like you did everyone's story kind of first, and then give them the thing to bring them together. Where when you see DC, it's like here's Justice League, and then we'll have them go off and each do their own thing. And
yes and no. But I actually just watched / listened to the Snyder Cut again, probably my third or fourth time by now. It's so much better than the Joss Whedon one. Oh,
100%.
So much better. Toy Rensu asks, wasn't the Stark Tower built at the end of Iron Man 1? No, sir. That whole movie takes place on the West Coast other than when Tony travels the world as Iron Man or at the very beginning when he's in Afghanistan.
Will say one thing whoops. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
it's okay.
I interrupted you. One thing I do like about this episode, and I wish they didn't destroy it in Iron Man 3, was his house. His house was so cool in Iron Man.
Yeah.
I thought that was such a beautiful backdrop, and it changed a lot of what we know about like Iron Man. Like he lived in the mansion in New York City and he had a butler, and like this was like so much cooler, I thought.
I want you to narrate the movie.
Was that your impersonation of Tony Stark, or is that someone who's mocking Tony Stark, or somebody in that whole lifestyle who has a butler in New York City?
Yes, he's a butler in New York City. So sophisticated.
I really like the move of putting Tony as a West Coast character. I thought it worked really well with this version of him. You know, sort of that Air Force arms manufacturer is a kind of a deserty West Coast thing. So that was it really helped broaden the MCU too, as opposed to being New York. And then of course moving Cap to Washington for the second movie and having Thor out in the desert too. I mean, as opposed to everything happening in NYC.
Honestly, I will say this, and probably this is going to be really controversial, but I personally don't like Joss Whedon as a director, so I've never really liked the first and second Avengers movies that much. So
you can say that.
Yeah, that's not that controversial.
No, that's fine.
Well, no, dude, I get flamed by a lot of people about it.
Hey,
I just don't like.
About who?
Well,
Flamer's gonna flame. I don't know what to say. Like
my friend Andrew, he gets mad at me all the time that I say this, but like I personally just don't like Joss Whedon's like directing. I think that it's very sloppy sometimes, and I personally really like what the Russos did with the Avengers. And I just really liked what he did with like Captain America 2. So I don't know.
You don't have to backtrack or
it's what you like, what you don't like
on your opinion. You can put it out there, and there's no question that the Avengers, like Joss's Avengers movie, did its job. Right? It broke through the mainstream. It shattered everything. It became like a staple of movies for the decade. And he kind of put that template out there for everybody. But when you rewatch, knowing where everything goes, the tone of the Avengers and the portrayal specifically of Cap in that movie does not match the version of those characters as the Russos. But more importantly, or maybe equally importantly, the writers of Marcus and McFeely, who write every Cap movie and then eventually Endgame and Infinity War, not in that order. But the voice that they get for Cap and the other characters really becomes the one that's going to last moving forward. Like it's the one I'm going to think of forever for sure. But I will say for Whedon, there are certain scenes that he puts together that like are better than the movie as a whole. For instance, the party scene in Age of Ultron with the hammer lifting and all that kind of stuff. Like that is so much fun, and you can make a case that the non-superhero scenes are better. The non-superhero scenes are better than the superhero scenes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. 100%.
Conversations and the banter, and there's something there. You know, the memorable moments about even like Nick Fury, who did Cap make the bet with? Was it with Fury when he has to give him the $20 for? Never mind. In Avengers, there's always like these little things going on between characters, and the fun stuff Tony Stark was doing, calling with Thor and calling him Point Break and everything like that. There was some really good stuff in there, but the action stuff I can probably do without a lot of it, or choose someone better maybe.
I think it just kills me to know that like the Russo brothers also did Arrested Development, which is like one of my favorite TV comedies. So it's like, oh yeah, and they're doing this giant blockbuster superhero movie.
And Community. Kevin, did you watch Community?
Yeah, of course.
Well, okay. Not everyone has.
Community is such a good show.
Arrested Development
is for you is better.
Yeah.
I think for me, I love them both, but being like that, I was a community college prof while that show was on. It was too much. It was awesome.
Community college, which one?
I was a prof at George Brown for 9 years.
Oh, George Brown.
Yeah.
The George Brown.
Okay.
Were there profs on the show that were like that you see some characters?
No.
In real life?
No,
that's too bad.
No, I mean the show was outrageous. It was great. But if anyone out there has not watched Community, you just skip the first episode or two.
Yeah.
But by the time you get to season 3 especially, that show is cooking with gas. It's amazing.
It's so funny.
Absolutely amazing.
The Russo brothers really do some really good comedic work on that show. Like, it's so funny.
Yeah, that's why to me it's like they can do that, and then hey, here's a team of superheroes.
Yeah.
And it works.
Were you in the same boat as me when they were announced as directors of Winter Soldier, and you're like, what?
Yeah, but by that time, I think for me, as you would say, for me personally, there had been.
Do I say that often?
You know what? Actually, a lot of people do. They say, for me personally, yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. For a lot of people, there have been so many movies out in the decade before that. It's like all the buzz of the internet and finding out who's directing and writing everything way in advance now. There were so many times where there was a writer, director, and actor that was up for a role that everyone was like, what? It's going to be crazy. And then it turned out to be great. So some people learned that lesson in '89 with Michael Keaton as Batman, that like not to judge before you see it. Some people learned it in 2008 with Heath Ledger. And because they were all shitting on that casting and everyone was wrong unless it's anyway. So when I found out those guys were going to be directing Captain America 2, I was like, we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Right. And I was actually watching that movie today. That's still like one of my top 5.
Winter Soldier?
Oh, I love it.
It's easily top 5.
It's my comfort food. It's I love it.
It's definitely top 5 for me. Like, it's one of those things I can always watch, and like I can always appreciate there's something new and different I can always spot. So I love that. I love it.
Yeah, it changed everything. Just the opening scene, him on the boat. Well, I know it's not really the opening scene, but the opening action scene of him on the boat. It was just like, oh, he's like this now. Oh, this is Cap as like the best soldier in history, as opposed to just being a symbol. It was just a level up, and it was so cool.
He had something to back it up with. It wasn't just being paraded around. Like he was just awesome. He was kick ass.
And I don't ever call out to the Hasbro Marvel Legends guys about figures I want, but give me a Batroc. I want a
MCU Batroc.
MCU Batroc, absolutely.
Well, he came back in the show, so
he did.
He's had more than a brief appearance. He has multiple brief appearances.
And given that there can be stories that are told over time from different moments in time, we could see him again.
Do you know what I hope that they do in the future? Instead of like What If, I kind of wish they do like animated like
in-betweens.
Yes. Like,
do you know which movie? First on my list is Howling Commandos. That's there's like a whole year of Captain America and Howling Commandos in World War II, and I want to see that show Bucky, everybody, like just doing those missions
Yeah.
across Europe, and there's so many good stories to tell.
I mean, there's so many things that like the MCU has kind of glanced over,
Yeah,
and I wish that they could like, just fill those gaps. And like,
yeah,
I definitely want to see these things. I think hopefully that's where they go with Marvel Studios animation.
why not?
And like,
It's money in the bank. Like,
yeah, 100%. And then we could figure out like other characters, like Annette Benning's like Marvel character, and like
yeah.
figure out what she did.
In
And
your
like
mind, is she a superhero?
Marvel?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Not for me. Because it's Annette Bening. Like she's not really a
So
superhero. Like if I saw her conquests and what she did along the way, maybe I'd be more interested and
Right.
more inclined to think she's a superhero. But I don't know. For me, like Captain Marvel, I wish that like that storyline was more fleshed out. So I'm hoping that it's something like that does help that with the animation, and I would love to see it. I mean, What If has been so great recently and has been so amazing, and it's just giving us characters that I've never thought I wanted, like Captain Carter. Like for me, it's
Yeah.
like I keep on talking about Captain Carter, but I love her so much, and we wouldn't have got it if it wasn't for What If. And these What If episodes have really like made me. Oh, do you like? Yes. Do like.
Yeah.
Cap
Yeah.
story set in World War II. James Howlett being part of the Howling Commandos as a bomb drop reveal. And is that how we get Wolverine into the MCU? That'd be crazy.
They've done that already, by the way, and it was good. It was just hinted at, or like just shown really quickly. Have you guys watched Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
No.
Okay, so there's an episode where they show Captain America's origin, and they show that whole stretch, and there's like an adventure with Sergeant Fury, who is Nick Fury's in the show. That is, I think they call him Jack Fury. And correct me if I'm wrong. It's like Nick Fury's granddad or dad.
Grandfather, yeah.
So it works with the distance in time between World War II and the 1960s, which is when Nick Fury was originally, he was a veteran of World War II and a spy in the 60s. But now that it's,
Yeah, I love how, as the ages go on, whatever war that they were from, it's like it's got to change.
But there's got to be a Fury fighting on the cartoon. So they had Jack Fury and the Howling Commandos with Captain America, and you can see Logan is part of that crew for like a couple scenes, and it matches really well that like a Canadian joins. There's a Brit on the team. There's a Frenchman on the team.
Did they explicitly say he's Logan? Or it's just by the look you should know.
It is explicitly shown to you that it is. They might call him Howlett, but if you want, I'll go get the screen grab, or you can get the screen grab.
I've watched Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but like you while working in the background. So.
Right. So it would have been something. It might have. I don't think they ever used his name, but when you see it, there isn't a question that it's him. On top of that, I'm pretty sure on X-Men Evolution they also had an episode where they showed the two of them back in the day. So I would be totally down for. I'm sure we could come up with 10 episodes of kinds of things like, oh, Jack calls him Howlett. There you go. You were watching it last night. That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
I bet you there's easily we could come up with 10 moments in the MCU that we want fleshed out through animation. And I mean, my number one, like I said, is some Howling Commandos action.
Where are these episodes? Like, where are these?
It's on Disney Plus.
It's on Disney Plus. If you go in like the animation,
Earth's Mightiest Heroes is a great show.
It holds up really, really well as a really good introduction to comic book stuff mixed with movie stuff. Like it's a pretty good hybrid. You'll definitely get your fix, and the animation is nice, and the designs are not typical for Marvel. They're much more in line with the Bruce Timm stuff, but without obviously his degree of perfection. But it's good. It's a good show. You get that not the kaiju, what's his name? Lovecraftian monster that the Red Skull is summoning in the Captain Carter episode. Like you get that in this episode I'm referring to with Cap and Red Skull and everything. Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Yeah, there's some good Thor stuff. Like the whole thing is good. It's they do Secret Invasion. They do a whole bunch of really good stuff. Like they do a season-long arc of it. Yeah, there you go. Like you can't pretend that's somebody else. Thank you.
No.
Yeah.
It's still implied. Oh well, no, he said it's Howlet, so that's
Yes, he calls him Howlet. It's not implied. It's explicit.
Now I'm kind of
so
curious
I'm
to watch
hoping
this.
they wrap up some of these stories from this season
Mm-hmm.
and in some kind of episode
Mm-hmm.
soon or a second season.
Would you rather see sequels or would you rather see more stories?
I mean, at this point, if I've seen it, damn, that's a good question.
Thank you.
So I'll speak from my truths. I think the concept of what if could become a little bit boring for me if I just get more episodes of just like what if. I would maybe like continuations of stuff like sprinkled throughout. So maybe in season 2, it's like maybe they pick up 2 or 3 episodes that are continuation of this season.
Yeah.
And then next season it's maybe 5 episodes of brand new stuff. So that's personally what I think I would like.
You want to?
Yeah, I mean, even with the What If comics, they were self-contained into a specific issue, but at the end of each issue, they wouldn't be like, well, here's this, and then leave it, right? There's some sort of
resolution
right? at the end of those What If comics, and you knew like next month's issue of What If isn't going to be about this, or is there going to be a season 2? So it's just the way it's being done. Hopefully, there's more.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before in another one of our episodes here, I want to see an episode of our new Marvel MCU animation show we're talking about. That is Ant-Man and the Wasp. More adventures of them with other characters in the 1980s. Cold War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we want to see the Captain America versus Red Guardian fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's like 3 episodes right there, dude.
Mm-hmm.
We got a whole show going. Come on, Feige.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
what's the show called?
The new one that we just made up?
Yes. They're made up as if no one's thought of this yet. Yes.
Nobody at Marvel has been sitting down thinking of these or planning it already.
Marvel Studios, the in-betweens.
I mean, think about all the shows that you're getting from Star Wars,
right?
That fit in from the main movies that you already know, and they don't have any what if stuff. They're just, I mean, it's spanned how many decades of storytelling, and how many decades within that universe that you can pick little pockets here and there, and pick a tale to tell. The MCU part is just
Marvel Tales.
Yeah, there you go. Marvel Tales. There's probably a Marvel Tales comic.
There was. It was reprints of Spider-Man comics.
Well, if you think about it, like you have Star Wars properties that are like droids and the new visions that are kind of like what ifs, right?
Yeah.
And like Lego does a really good job of what ifs kind of thing. So, I mean, man, I really want to see a new show based on our idea, and then we could be credited on this show, and we could be producers, and then we could hang out with all these actors, and we could be super famous, and then go on into create a new movie, and then we be the control, and then we become the Kevin Feige's of the world.
Yeah, Tales to
That's
Astonish.
a huge what if.
I like that. 3 of you, Tales to Astonish. That's great because it's a good title. It's a classic Marvel title.
Mm-hmm.
We have bearded builds in the house. Shout outs for sharing this in your stories that we're going live tonight. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being here, man. Star Wars Infinities. I think I brought it up before. It was they did each OT movie in a 4-part what if. What if Luke misses the Death Star shot, and then there's I mean I would watch that in an animated show.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just Vader hunting down the rest of the rebellion for?
I don't remember. I brought them up. I intended to reread them.
Well, they blow up the base on Yavin 4. Like that happens seconds.
Yeah,
later,
that happens almost immediately.
And then the end of it is just whatever ships are left run out of gas because they have nowhere to go. There's no planet for them to get back to.
Oh God! And then it turns into
It's just a
that
massive.
slow chase with like with what's her face? This lady,
Vice Admiral Haldo.
Aldo.
Yeah,
Her.
Vice Admiral Haldo. Good pull.
Well, I do have one more of these left.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
I kind of know what it is, and then
Zombie
I forgot what I got, so I don't remember what it is. So I will be surprised once again. Did you open all? Oh, you still have a zombie left.
Yeah, the zombie I'm waiting to give to Mr. Jason over here.
Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
He's still in the package.
All right, so these are
As far as you know.
Lego minifigures that I saw these at Toys R Us, and I think there was an episode where we talked about getting a full solid case of these. I was at Toys R Us on Wednesday, and they had one of those rolling racks that you can move around, and there were 12 cases, all scrambled and just jumbled, and it's like, I'm not going through this. But so if someone was looking for that chance to get a fresh case, that's what I mean. Like, it's, you have to catch it right away when they put it out. And
Is this Sylvie?
Kevin, have you been going to the Hilda Toys R Us? Is that what you've been hitting? Yeah.
yeah. Oh yes, it is.
Ah. My Sylvie's on the floor right now.
This is a Sylvie from.
Just so you know, Kevin, we can't hear you.
I think he disconnected.
One can wish. So your toy cam doesn't have any sound, and your face cam is not on anymore.
All right, let's narrate this. So there is I have Sylvie, and Sylvie is a from the Loki series, and I have some Velociraptors, and
Oh man,
That's a new one.
we were hoping
Closed it.
we had our own show.
That's weird. You have the Gator Loki.
mhm. Can I tell you what I saw today? And it was the best thing I've ever seen in the world. So
Well, when you preface it like that, yes,
Well,
please do tell.
there was a convention that happened, probably in Texas, because Texas, and this person dressed up as four people dressed up as the TVA agents, and one dressed up as Ravonna Renslayer,
Mhm.
and the four of them were carrying a crocodile alligator Loki, and it was like Target acquired. It was so cool. It was like the best thing I saw all day. And they were walking through the convention, and everyone else was dressed as Lokis. It was so good. I don't know if
Was the gator real?
no. I mean, maybe
Because that would have been
Texas.
Florida.
Yeah.
You know,
There's a
if the con was in Florida, they were real gators.
yeah.
Yeah, I wish they would have, if not molded a crown onto this, they maybe use this animal in another set, but maybe just a little accessory crown that can pop on to the head.
Mm-hmm.
That just clips on instead of remolding the whole thing for this one pack. But it's cool.
Does she come with? I'm sorry, I should just look when you move your hand. Does she come with a cloak or a cape?
No,
Mm-mm.
she does not.
All right. All right.
Oh,
Okay.
did anyone order the Fantastic Four wave yet?
Why
No.
do you ask?
Because the release date got moved up in Toys R Us. They got pre-orders in for November 1st.
As opposed to,
January 1st,
Mm-hmm.
which is what is on Amazon.
Yeah.
I think they just preemptively put a lot of stuff for January, and then
Right. Then move it when they have better information.
Did you see that GameStop is going to be like flooded with toys next week?
no, do
Say
tell.
So I was snooping around the website last week. Like Webman got his. I think I sent this to you, Kevin. But Webman's release got bumped up, and then
Tell everyone.
Hercules, his release is next week, and there's just so many. Like
You're
the Disney
getting
Plus-
that Hercules, right?
I'm getting Naked Hercules. Yes,
Jason?
And
Naked Hercules is already here in my mind. I love Herc. No, I love. Yeah, I'm getting for sure. I just don't know what I'm going to do with Man Bun Herc because I don't need to. And that,
Keep it.
yeah, but I want to keep the sword.
Hmm. I have so much to sell. Oh my gosh. I'm just waiting
we
for a
gotta-
toy jam.
I get a toy jam
It's
going.
not gonna happen.
It's
I feel
not.
like it's not gonna happen. It's already. I don't know. Wait, there's a toy show at the beginning of October. You can always get a table. We'll see.
I'm
Mississauga.
going to do one of those outdoor ones, man. We all just bring a couple bins,
Hmm.
throw some stuff on our trunks, tailgate style,
Hmm.
Yeah, we can, or just set up on my street somewhere.
in front of your house.
Yeah, peddling my wares. Then I don't have to go anywhere. I sell my Batmobile. Well, yeah. I mean, I still have to. I want to take some pictures. After talking with Trevor last night, I have some shots that I want to set up, but I still want to build the zombie hunting team from last week's episode with my existing Marvel Legends and do something like that.
Do you need any other characters that you don't have?
I'll figure it out.
Okay, if you need anything, let me know, man. I'll throw it at your house.
Again, I have to actually take these photos first. Again, I have a lot of ambitions to take a photo. But we'll see.
Commit to a time and just get it done. No
I cleaned up a whole bunch, and I got a whole bunch of stuff to sell. And then one episode of Unboxing Thursday just destroys everything. 'Cause it's a disaster in here again.
Did you guys hear the news about what's in development? Marvel Zombies live action.
I was gonna say be more vague, but
No. What is the actual news like? What did they say? They're just developing a Marvel Zombies live action.
I think Mark
Show?
Miller. Yeah, no, it's like going to be a movie. Mark Miller, the creator of, like, not a creator, but like they apparently they asked for rights for some of the stuff from him. I don't know.
Mark Miller?
Yeah, I think he did some Marvel zombie stuff.
He's pretty, I imagine, tied up with Netflix and the Millerverse. I think he has like an exclusive thing with them.
Yeah, but he kind of like spilled the beans. He said that Marvel Studios asked for permission to start doing stuff, and a live action's on the way.
oh shoot, maybe there's gonna be another wave of Marvel Legends zombies then,
Oh God.
and then all my dreams will come true.
So Kirkman was the first one to do the writing of Marvel Zombies in 2006. Sean.
Yeah, I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah. I didn't think Miller was involved in that in my head, but obviously I could be wrong.
I don't know. I'm just reading the report here. It says Mark Miller says there's plans for a live action incarnation of Marvel Zombies.
You're right. He introduces it in the crossover.
Which,
Kirkman is The Walking Dead, right?
Yes.
That's cool. I like that. That they're like, hey, this zombie guy, do a Marvel Zombies.
Okay, so he introduces it in Ultimate Fantastic Four. Miller does, that is. And then Marvel likes it so much that they make a whole series spinning out, which Kirkman writes. So the whole thing starts with Miller. Yeah, I mean, cool. Cool.
Not for me.
You'll watch it anyway.
No,
I'm so happy.
Listen, I want you to make a promise right here, right now, Troy. If this comes to fruition and there is somehow a television show or movie that has Marvel Zombies, you will live stream reactions to you watching it.
Sure.
And we will all tune in to watch you uncomfortably watch Marvel Zombies.
Sure. I'll do
raise money for charity.
I'll do live reactions on Twitch. I'll do that.
Yeah,
There you go.
we could raise money to cure zombies or something.
Zombie cure.
Okay, I think the money should be going towards your zombie survival plan, like some sort of kit for yourself.
Yeah, we have a couple years to decide what we're going to do with the money we raise.
You think it's a couple of years? You think?
Ugh.
This virus is still here. It's going to evolve into zombies.
We already have the Mu virus now.
I don't know what that is.
We're gonna have the Zomb coming up soon, and then it's gonna turn into a full blown apocalypse, guys.
Man, I love how it always ends up being zombie escape plans.
Yeah,
on my channel.
Yeah. But honestly, like I don't know. I just hate zombies so much. Sad.
I love that you had to wrap that point. Yeah, but I really do hate zombies so much.
I hate it so much.
Okay, how about let's talk about this episode real quick. Overall, what they did with the characters, how it strayed from the characters you knew from the MCU, and the episode overall. Give me your thoughts, Troy, and be honest. Be honest.
Okay, if I have to be honest, I really liked. I love the Killmonger character, and it really just shows you that he is a very big manipulator. And you've seen that in Black Panther, but you really see this in this episode. He manipulates situations to get what he wants, and this time it actually works. I really do hope Killmonger comes back in the MCU in some way, shape, or form, because that man, he needs his own freaking movie, or an in-between episode of Tales to Astonish by Jason, Troy, and Kevin. But
we're gonna write it.
I think so. I really like I loved the Tony Stark stuff, and I love the symbolism. Like, the show is really good with symbolism. We've seen this multiple times. We've seen just having his cup in his hand and being like it insinuates something. I love that. One thing I was kind of I was kind of like, what the frig? Why are they killing Black Panther again? Or kind of making him in this weird part. I don't know. So, but yeah, honestly, the episode was really good. I want to see more of this, and I just hated how it ended. Just it was on a freaking cliffhanger. But we're gonna tune in to see what happens in a couple weeks, kind of thing. But yeah, that's my take on the episode. Very, very brief, and I want more Killmonger.
Yeah. Jason, how about you?
Speaking of symbolism, I'm playing with my Odin helmet here. I never realized that it was half Thor helmet, half Loki.
Oh.
Talk about symbolism, right? Like, you got your two sons taking pieces of your helmet symbolically. I think it's kind of cool.
You were playing finger puppets, weren't you?
I was. No, he's
On the other hand, there's a little face drawn on with an eye patch.
That sounds like a good idea. I should do that. I thought the same thing as Troy, except for the cliffhanger. I think I'm taking a hard stance. That's too heavy-handed a word for this. I think it's just they're acknowledging that stories are open-ended, that they don't ever end. And it could be a cliffhanger. It could be setting up a sequel. I'm also very much at peace with it not setting up a sequel. I don't really want to see Shuri and Pepper Potts taking down Killmonger. I'm at peace with it. Like, it can be. I don't need to see that episode, truthfully. But then they're going to make it win me over. So who knows? But like you're saying, Troy, I very much agree that Killmonger is an amazing character. We all knew it when we watched the movie, and they say, of course, that a hero is only as good as their villains. And when you just see a character as good as Killmonger is, it just reminds you how much we're going to miss Black Panther. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, this villain was so good. Like, the hero was just taken out of the story that quickly, that easily. You knew from the movie Killmonger was plotting and scheming and had all these moves, but to see it all compacted into this one episode, and it didn't seem rushed or like, oh, that's a huge jump from this play to this play. Like, it seemed very organic. He just slipped into the next move. He was ready. Some scenes you'd see him give a slight smirk. They're like, yeah, let all the robots in. And then even in animation, they put in like that kind of stuff. So I think it was a really fun episode overall. That Pepper, you're right. I don't think I want to see Kid Shuri and Pepper Potts, of all people, take down Killmonger. I want it. It's like they put that in there, and I want to see what happens. But I never thought, like, wait, how is it going to work? That might not be
it. All they got to do is, I mean, we haven't mentioned this whole time, but like, without Tony there, Nick Fury still has his beeper.
Yeah.
Just call Captain Marvel.
That's not a Captain Marvel call for. Do you think so? Oh wait, no. If they're going to take over with all the weapons,
saying, if we're going to, at any point, if he wants to you know, if any threat comes, if the Chitauri comes, just call Captain Marvel, and that was an unfortunate thing they've added into the movies.
Yeah.
You know, he's had it for 20 years. He never called her. So
Yeah, those threats weren't big enough, apparently.
yeah, he's waiting for. It's like, we're going to bomb Manhattan. I'm not going to call Captain Marvel.
It's like this is the biggest threat.
Yeah.
Oh, if Mario's still here, it's like a baseball analogy. I'm not going to contest. I get one contest on a play. I'm not going to use it, but it's like the bottom of the ninth inning, and this could make or break the game. I'm going to save it for later. That's what the beeper is. Mario, I'll help you out with some of those phrases later on.
Marcus, yeah. What if Nick Fury called in Captain Marvel in 2012 for Avengers? That would have been, it would be interesting. Or not. Or maybe she just ends the movie and like she flies the wormhole, destroys the mothership, and comes back.
How long does it take her to fly back?
She also might already be there. Who knows? Well, space, those jumping portal things. Yes. You know, what do they call the jumping portal things in Guardians and in Captain Marvel?
Jump points?
Whatever they call them.
Something points.
Yeah, exactly. Director Fury, I don't think Grubhub messing up your order is a reason to call in Captain Marvel. Smoke their ass.
I could have used Captain Marvel this morning when they screwed up my McDonald's order.
How bad did they screw it up?
Okay.
Here we go. First world problems section of the show. Go.
I was at work and I was tired. And I said to myself, I need a coffee, but I can't leave. So I go to anyone, hey, does anyone want a coffee? Everyone says no. I said, perfect. I'm going to order something from Uber Eats. I did. Uber Eats, McDonald's, a coffee. All I asked was a black iced coffee.
What's the charge? What's the charge for that service fee in it?
That coffee cost me $9.
Jeez.
Anyways, I get it. I look at the bag. The bag is beautiful. I go, I got to open this bag. I look into the bag. I'm like, that's not a black coffee. Take it out. There's cream and milk in it. I can't have it. I'm lactose intolerant. So I put it down on the table, and I said, this is not going to help me in my day.
Troy, there's your thing. If there's never another toy drop, say, shoot, they gave me the wrong coffee. I have to go to the can because I'm lactose intolerant. Right at 1 o'clock when there's a new Hasbro Pulse drop. Then you can just log in from there and order with ease.
Yeah, but I'm going to be using my phone.
Now your work knows.
I don't think they know.
I want to try and change your perspective for a second. When you say you can't drink it, yes, you can. You just can't digest it.
I can't digest it, and then 20 minutes later,
consume it. There's just a consequence.
There's a very big consequence, and I don't like this consequence. And it's something that really upsets my day. Maybe that's why I'm tired today. So, anyways, I gave a very scathing review on Uber Eats today. And then the girl at the front desk was like, "Hey, I'm ordering a coffee. Do you want one?" I said, "Yes, please." So. And then I leave for 10 minutes. The coffee arrives and she puts it on the desk. And I'm like, what is this? She's like, it's a coffee. But I was like, no. It doesn't look like a coffee. It looks like a Diet Coke. I open the container. It's a Diet Coke.
What do you mean? What kind of container is this that it looks like a Diet Coke?
Oh, I thought she's like, oh yeah, they put the label of the coffee on this, like the regular like
soda cup?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay.
Why would she think that?
I don't know. So she's like, yeah, it's a coffee because it says it on the thing. I was like, oh, awesome. There's a coffee. It's great. I look at it. I'm like, there's bubbles. Take a sip. And it's like, this is a Diet Coke. This is not a coffee. Okay. And I was really mad all day. Maybe that's why I'm so super tired today.
So what could Carol do for you in this situation?
She could go to that freaking McDonald's and she could... That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is your supervillain origin. If that'll cause you to blow up a McDonald's, that is ridiculous.
Twice today, McDonald's, you have screwed me over, and I will not forget this.
The Troy recap is greater than the Luis recap.
It is true. But yeah, 2 times you burned me.
All right.
3
Sounds like this McDonald's has made your shit list.
Mhm. Well,
Do you have a shit list? Jason, do you have a shit list?
No, of course
You're too
not.
nice.
No, I'm not. I'm not nice at all.
you know what also grinds my
They're all
gears?
Oh
dead
boy.
already.
Here we go.
Killed them all. Sorry, what grinds your gears?
You know, Toys R Us. Listen, Toys R Us, I really appreciate you, but you know, we have a distribution center in Toronto, in the GTA, but why are we not getting toys in Ontario? It's every other province, but no, Louise and Hydra Stomper are showing up all over Canada except Ontario. Why is that? Why are we not getting it? I would like to know. That really grinds my gears.
Racism.
And there's 2 stores right next to that distribution center.
I went in today and I was like, "Hey, do you guys have these SKUs?" And they're like, "Nope, not in not in Ontario." I was like, "Perfect." And then Winger Lose posts his sightings, and I was like, "Oh boy, Mobius and Stomper are in Canada somewhere, but you know I can't get it because Toys R Us doesn't want to help me at all."
Are you in a hurry to get Mobius?
Just because it's an exclusive, so I think I kind of just want to get it and get it out of the way. I feel like
you'll spend $9 for a McDonald's coffee delivered.
And
Yeah,
try to save the
$40 Mobius ain't a thing.
yeah, so I don't know, but I did order the Age of Apocalypse wave for the X-Men, so that should be hitting shelves next week or today. Check your Walmarts if you're in Canada. But yeah,
I'm gonna order mine now or after the show. Oh yes, quick plug. That'll make it easy. I'll be ordering my set from ecollectibles.ca. They have the Retro Spider-Man wave up for pre-order. They have the AOA wave in stock. That's what I've been told. They ship to US, they ship to Canada. You can save 5% off of your order with the code Toying Around, which I will be doing when this stream is done. And hopefully I will have my Age of Apocalypse figures in time for Unboxing Thursdays next week. Hopefully.
Awesome. Did you figure out, by the way, if there's 2, is it a case of 8? And is there 2 of something in that Spider-Man wave?
I think it's a case of 6 because that's what I've saw.
Okay. Not that I'm ordering a case. So
okay, Troy, here, let me tell you something. Every time I go to McDonald's and I order a Happy Meal for my kids, I get the apple slices. And 99% of the time they've forgotten and given me the French fries. I don't know what it is. I'll explicitly say at the drive-through window, apple slices, or currently carrot sticks because of the Space Jam promotion, which I think is brilliant. It's got Bugs Bunny on the bag. Instead of apple slices, they have little baby carrots for the kids. Brilliant because of the Space Jam thing. But they always forget to give it to me. I'm like, am I doing something wrong? Like, I'm telling you. And I'm assuming the person just sees Happy Meal and they just assume French fries and they grab it. And I go, you gave me French fries. And then obviously COVID, they're not going to take the fries back. So they're like, here, carrot sticks. And I'm like, all right, kids, double food for you. And then they don't eat the carrot sticks.
I mean,
I don't want to blow up the McDonald's though.
Let me know which McDonald's this is. And I can
Highway
add to my
7,
list.
is it Highway 7 west of West Beaver Creek?
It's very specific.
You're exposing these McDonald's.
It's like every McDonald's that does that. It's
I'm
ridiculous.
trying to figure out what your local McDonald's is.
Listen, McDonald's, I have a beef with you. Remember when you were doing those Pokemon cards? That's another thing coming after you.
This is ridiculous.
Anyways,
what's everyone got going on? I mean, we kind of went through that in the beginning. I have Unboxing Thursdays next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, here on YouTube and or Twitch. And yesterday was on with Trevor, 1/6 shooter. Awesome dude. Great conversation. Opens up some really cool toys. He had this Batman. He had this version of the Joker from that animated movie, Batman Ninja. Cool design. Movie was like, yeah, whatever. It's for fun. But the toy, I've never seen anything like that. So it was really cool. And just chatting about Cosmic Legions coming up. And so go check that out. And the week before, Robo. Troy, you've got some new toys there?
So Hasbro sent me this beautiful Nerf Hyper. You might have seen the commercials on any kid's TV station, but the Nerf Hyper, and it's the Rush 40. Toying around, I challenge you to...
Do you actually Nerf?
I will Nerf. This came to my door yesterday. Thought it was the Sentinel. I almost crapped my pants. I messaged you going, I think the Sentinel's here. And then I turned around, I saw Nerf Hyper, and then I got very depressed for a second, and I said, "Ooh!" And
What is
then I
this
opened the
voice?
box.
You're getting into the McDonald's voice.
I love it.
Maybe it isn't McDonald's voice.
This
And I
is the
opened the box,
McDonald's voice.
and I saw what was inside. I was really much appreciative of it, and it looks fun. And I challenge you to a duel.
All right. I mean, that thing's cool. It's okay. The way I see it is this one, you open up the top and you can pour in like 40 pellets at a time to reload. Okay. If I show up at my next Nerf event with my friends from like high school, they're going to be loading their darts one at a time. They're going to be like World War I style, loading a freaking musket with a little brush, stuffing it in, and I'm just going to be like pop, 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 pop.
We're loading muskets in World War One.
Sure.
But anyway, that's like Civil War and War of 1812. Yeah.
Well,
Actually, yes.
Well, come on.
Either
but
way.
yeah,
I will be like, I will have Wakandan technology. Okay,
we will.
that's what this is.
Do you know what this kind of makes me want to do? It makes me kind of watch the Community episode where they have the paintball episode.
All the paintball episodes are incredible.
So good.
They had like
And
Star Wars theme. They had like westerns, everything.
I think I might want to watch that tonight. So,
The
but
Zombie Halloween episode is also a great one.
I love that episode when Chang showed up as a dark elf.
That's another thing altogether. And by the way, that one's not available for streaming.
No, they took it off, which is
it's
not available to rewatch.
Canceled for like blackface.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though it's not. It if it offends somebody somewhere profoundly enough, then
wait, is it the episode when they're doing like the
D&D.
The D&D episode is one of my favorite episodes.
You can find it streaming just on Google somewhere, but not the streaming services aren't out there.
Well, hold on.
Anyway, yeah, I got one of those Nerf guns too. I've planned a whole Instagram reel. I just have to shoot it this weekend, so I'll be doing that. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be at the Guelph Comics Jam on September 25th in Guelph, Ontario. So if you're anywhere within like 2 hours of Toronto, you should come out. There's going to be a whole bunch of cartoonists and comic creators there at one of the best comic book stores in the country. We're going to be selling our comics, and I'll be doing sketches for people and drawing stuff, whatever, and selling comics. And
Nice.
good times. Yeah, it's at the Dragon in Guelph on September 25th. And I'm working on Peregrine's, the second part of this series. And I'm working on Heroic Tales featuring Thor. In 2 weeks, I dropped a new page of that. And that's been fun. And that's what I'm up to, dude.
Nice. Troy, what in the world are you doing?
Okay, I'm looking at my DVD shelf.
Just trying to get a coffee.
I'm trying to find so you have Gilmore Girls here. I have I have the Office DVDs. I had the DVDs Community, and I don't know where they are now. They're in the abyss. I'm a little disappointed right now.
Good movie too.
Oh, which one?
The Abyss.
Oh, never seen it.
James Cameron.
You can Google that or find it tonight.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can find it online easily. It's like on Vimeo or somebody posted the episode, or just that scene.
I just want to see the scene where everyone's like doing the D&D, and then who is it that's like doing like the sexual like person healer or something? I forget this episode. Anyways, hello.
You can get Peregrines. Trevor, hit me up on Instagram at Jason Lapidus, or you can go to groupofsevencomics.ca. You can get it there as well. But just hit me up and I send you copies. All good.
Yeah, Kevin, when are you doing another toy review?
Yeah, Kevin.
Group of 7.ca.
Group of 7 comics. It's gonna be the number 7. Group of 7.
Oh, that's where my
comics.
focus was. I forgot to write comics. I just tell you when I want to buy something.
Sure. But you tell me all sorts of random things you want to buy that have nothing to do with me, like different groceries and.
I'm trying to share your page. Stop mocking me. There you go.
There you go.
Group of 7 comics.ca. You can get Peregrines. You can also get the group of. Can you still get Group of 7? The first one.
The trade.
Yeah,
for sure.
The trade.
For sure.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun time.
When am I going to do another toy review? I'm planning this weekend. The kids will be. They'll be otherwise occupied, so I should have some time. Hopefully, Captain Zombie Cap, and hopefully Troy will watch that. Or I just, I got some ideas for some toy photos. Again, the balance, one or the other. Hopefully a review, and maybe it'll be out hopefully Monday. But that would be fun to do, and something I should probably get back to. Well, gentlemen, as fun as this episode was, as interesting as it was, there wasn't not a lot of merch and everything to go into beyond that. So tonight is going to be a quick one, but I do appreciate you guys hopping on, and everyone who's watching, everyone who shared and let us know, or let everyone know that this is happening tonight. I genuinely enjoy talking about this stuff, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm happy I get to share it with everyone. So make sure you follow these two amazing people on their socials. It's linked down below. I will be back here on Thursday, unless I have a video coming up soon. So thank you. Have a great night. Have a great weekend, and keep toying around. You can check out anytime you like, but you can't ever leave. Peace.